Hey y'all, I hope everyone's well. Just gonna, light some frankincense and myrrh. I love this smell. Take a deep breath in. Alright, I call on Archangel Michael and I ask you to cover us in your blue cloak of protection, surrounding us in divine white light as I connect to the other realm with the intention for the highest and greatest good. And so it is, and so it will be. This flame. There we go. Sorry. Need a little bit of clearing over here. All right. So I hope you guys are doing great. Say hello in the comments. I always like to engage with y'all. Ask me questions. I will cover them in a reading. Okay. I love doing it. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Ooh. See, this is why we clear our stuff. Someone wants me to mention this, okay? Justice is playing out, okay? For those who, held back from maybe taking action towards something that they know would have been the right thing to do, but maybe someone chose to hold back and withhold. There's something about money. Someone could be hiding behind something, all right? Maybe even being a bit greedy. Okay, maybe someone thought that they were going to get something out of something, maybe the outcome isn't working out the way they anticipated. Okay, maybe someone's staying somewhere due to financial means, right? Maybe they're not willing to let go of something, they're holding on to something. Okay. Interesting. 6 of Wands. Right? There's something far greater playing out here. Something that someone specifically has been recognized for. Like back in the day, they used to award favor, right? Someone who was showing courage. Someone who, was rising above others in some way or shape or form. And then we have the Sun, middle of the deck. Yeah, also riding a horse, right? Both white horses, mind you. So what does white mean in tarot? Oftentimes it represents innocence, purity, holiness. Yeah, so I would say that, this energy may have had its own, from the get-go, challenges in life, but was able to rise above them and meet those challenges and overcome them with a pure heart. Okay, there's this purity, this innocence. It's almost like, look at what you've accomplished. Like you started off here and now you're here. Something like that. I'm getting this song. I started at the bottom, now you're here. So it's kind of like you descended from, right? You're made out of love and you come from the stars kind of energy. You descended and now you're on your way to ascension, right? You're rising up, okay? Fascinating. Okay, thank you. We're gonna get some more cards. All right, I'm gonna lean into this one. Yeah, there's that Fool energy. More light, more purity here, innocence, right? There's, again, with the white flower and the white dog, and this carefreeness. This is a fresh start, right? There's this process that's played out, and now there's something new that's being started. Okay, again, Seven of Wands is like, could have been a grind. You're not someone who backs down from anything, right? Maybe you've had to stand your ground, right? Against this kind of energy here, right? The devil energy. Someone may now have to defend themselves against what maybe they wanted for you in some way. They're having to fight their own battles and demons. They don't have you to protect them anymore. Because I saw the Queen of Swords, right? It's like, yeah. Everybody has a choice on how they handle themselves in situations, right? I feel like you were able to see things clearly through some assistance here. Okay. I'm also getting with the Fool, there's a lot of like possibilities, okay? There's like this optimism. They're like, if I can get through that, I can get through anything, right? If I can overcome that challenge, I can overcome anything. It's like that energy. That's amazing. Good for you. Ace of Swords and the Queen of Cups. I feel like regardless of what you've been through, you still operate from a place of love, care, nurture, right? You tune into the frequency here, the vibration, right? You have this flow of consciousness, okay? So you also could be protected from an energy here that might be overly in their emotions, okay? So we'll see if we get some more information here. I have a Nine of Swords. Someone's stuck in their head regarding a situation. Yeah, then I have the Sun, the Eight of Cups, the Nine of Cups. Someone may have some sort of issue with overconsumption of something or overgiving in some way. I don't know. We're going to get more info on that. Yeah, there's some sort of like, maybe I'm getting like someone could feel embarrassed because someone's being exposed for all the love someone is giving. Okay, there's a lot of like pouring out and into others for the sake of like some sort of, I'm getting like overindulgence. I'm getting but feeling empty. Like none of it is satisfying. None of it is fulfilling. Like having to search for something far and wide and still not feeling fulfilled. That's what I'm kind of getting. It's almost like putting your priorities like someone's priorities are in the wrong place, right? And so someone might have been looking for something in all the wrong places. And there may have been some clarity and truth about maybe where they were and who they were with. They may feel haunted about what's been transpiring or what they do know and realize at this time. They could be experiencing a lot of fear, anxiety, like haunted by the thoughts. And then the Sun energy, there's this energy of like knowing what you had, but then you lost it, right? Now you know what you had. Now you know what you lost, or something like that. Whatever that saying is. You guys know how my sayings are. And then I have this abandonment, this rejection, this like, leaving someone out in the cold, feeling like they have no access to resources. So I'm getting like somebody might have been very codependent, okay? Went from one situation to another in order to fulfill their own like emptiness, okay? It's like the false promise in a relationship or connection with other people. It's kind of like You think they're your family, but they're really not once you like are shown who they truly are. You're like, how could all these people who I considered close to me do this to me? I'm getting there's a lot of that. And then there's this rejection, outcast energy. Maybe someone's very imbalanced when it comes to like what they wish for. Okay. This Knight of Cups energy is, you know, something on its way. Okay. And it does have some like, there's that white horse again. So it's almost like somebody knows that something else is on its way and they're feeling like the time, like I'm getting like I'm getting a bit of like time's up with these two cards, Nine of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. And there's this protection here too. So it's kind of like, you know, whatever direction they're going, it's protected. And so it's like, do not cross, do not pass, right? This, it's almost like a timeline. Like, this is not your timeline. Turn around and go back. Go back. Go back to where you came from. Like, you don't have business here. Something like that, right? It's kind of like someone's being like almost like stopped in their tracks. Queen of Pentacles and the Emperor. Yeah, I'm getting there's something that you can, you know, trust, that has good intentions, has pure intentions here, is coming to a Queen of Pentacles. Someone who's stable, secure, very responsible, and respected. Okay, and it could be coming from an Emperor. Someone who sees this value in another, and this, and then here's the reference of the roses. Okay, so knowing that like, yes, things can be beautiful, but there's also like parts where it can be difficult, like a thorn. Ouch. Doesn't mean that like love isn't beautiful, right? It comes with, you know, obstacles, challenges, pain points. There's always some sort of potential for a pain point if you allow it, right? There's this energy of that. Someone wants to bring a love offer to the table here. It might have something to do with like something you do that you love. It may not be an actual love situation. It could be an offer though. I feel like it's something that you do well, like you're respected in some way. This is like a sense of achievement here, holding this pentacle, right? Something that you will have to show for something. And then the last card is the Ace of Pentacles. So this is like a blessing. This is an offer. This is an oath. This is, I would love to work with you. I would like to offer you this. And you're going to see this as a great blessing. Okay. I feel like this is tied to your mission, your purpose. I feel like you're here and you have the support of your ancestors and the universe. Okay. The divine supports you in what you're being asked to take on and do. This is a blessing. All right, I have, splitting the deck, I have five of wands. Okay, so of course there's going to be those that don't want the highest and greatest good for you, and you know, who cares? I feel like this is you accepting that this is meant for you, and you trust. You trust, and you're moving forward with courage, perseverance, and you're not doing it alone. Okay, the Chariot is certainly, you have support, okay, on both sides. And this is you being activated. This is you sharing your favor with others in whatever way that is. That could be sharing a craft, a hobby, something you're really good at. It could be advice. It could be art, music, your medicine, your wisdom, your knowledge, your beautiful energy that you're here to share with others for the greater good of humanity in whatever way you choose to do it. There's something specific that you're really good at though. And you know, everything that you've gone through has made it so, right? It's kind of like you're the pearl. Like you're realizing now that you're like that cultivated pearl, and now you're sitting waiting for, you know, there to be this culmination. It's almost like, aha, here it is. Like, it's like, you know, it's coming, it's on its way to you, and you're just trusting because you're in the energy of being grounded, stable, secure, right? Managing what is in your realm to manage, and knowing that then there's this white rabbit, a lot of white animals in this deck, a lot of representation of, you know, divine support, right? Having this pure intentions, purity at heart. I feel like, you know, the wisdom you have goes back quite a long ways, looking at this throne here. And, you know, sometimes there's a bit of like having to grow along the way. This represents a lot of growth, a lot of development, a lot of nurturing yourself, okay? And, you know, others along the path, but still, again, it's an individual's job, right? Like, you're not surrounded by other people here. In fact, there's like no others in sight except for nature. So it's like you rely on your connection to nature and the spiritual realm to help you through your growth and development. And not that you don't accept other assistants, right? Teachers, helpers in your reality. And I feel like, you know, there's a level of that playing out here. It's like a level up here, okay? There's an expertise that's going to be gained here for your overall growth, your soul's growth. But I'm getting like you're very experienced as it is, right? But you didn't, like, this is something that you earned. You had to go through the necessary steps, all the lessons. Okay. So I'm also getting like this continuous, like you picking up on where someone might have left off, right? Or maybe you're picking up where you left off last time, maybe in another experience of some kind. It's almost like you found this throne and you're like, I remember being here, but it's different this time. Almost like that. Like a remembering. And then there's like, aha, like, yes. Let me show you the way. So this is a bit of like, what's on the other side of this trellis? What's on the other side of this gate? What's on the other side of this, it's almost like what's on the other side of this existence, this new reality. This is like a new reality here, a fresh start at life, okay? One where you're taking charge of the direction. You're not letting others influence the direction that you're taking, okay? This is something that's God-given, okay? A blessing. Yeah, there's this recognition of a gift that you hold as well. Like, you're gifted. You have something that, you know, is unique, okay? And you're meant to help those here on earth with it, okay? Someone may be helping you to do this, like being able to support you so that you're not having to do all that on your own. Maybe so that you can be in this energy, okay, to bless others with your blessing kind of energy. And someone else kind of like is the support, is the throne, is the groundedness so that this can actually happen. I'm getting that. Okay. Knight of Wands. Okay. Taking action. Moving towards a goal. 10 of Cups. You could be moving to in a new direction that is going to provide some sort of emotional fulfillment. I feel like it still requires you to take action though, whatever it is, or something is taking action towards you. It's going to bring in quite a bit of change. The Death, like transformation here. There could be a transition here or an ego death of some kind. Okay. But there's an ending here and there's a new beginning. It's like they want you to take the chance. And then we have an Ace of Cups. Look at Ace of Cups. Yeah, someone realized that there's some sort of like dead end here with somebody. Okay. And then there's this realization of what was lost. Right? Whatever they thought they gained, they've lost. And whatever they lost, they're now realizing, okay, what it truly was, which was, you know, a blessing to them. They lost a blessing, and that was unconditional love, right? There's that white animal again, referencing pure love, divine love, holy love, innocence, purity. Okay, someone is realizing what they lost. Okay, and how, you know, something's ending now. Okay, again, more white in the cards. We have the white horse and we have the white flower. Okay, representing, again, more purity, right? That something is being ended so that something can be again with purity, right? With, it's almost like a death and a rebirth process helping out, you know, happening here. Hierophant and the Sun. So this is like divine intervention here. Yeah, Page of Wands. King of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like someone overindulged, okay, and fell in love with something that they were doing for the sake of money. And I'm getting like, it could have been risky moves, and as a result, like, it's causing endings in their life. It's causing a need to move away from a situation. Something doesn't seem like it's for somebody, right? There's this like guidance of, you know, how is that really working out for you? It doesn't seem like it's working out for you at all. Like something's unbalanced here. I see a King of Cups. Yeah, Knight of Swords. Yep, someone could be wanting to lash out or communicate that, you know, someone may be blaming someone else for something that they've done, but they can't take the blame because of their ego. I feel like someone is having to stand up for what they deserve, okay? I feel like somebody wants to come in and, like, defend your honor, okay? Stand up for you. Your back is to any kind of energy that wants to create any kind of like unpeaceful situation, especially where you exist. Yeah, I feel like there is this unrest here. I guess somebody wants to come in and like defend your honor, okay? I feel like it took a group of people, okay, to come after you, and you're just one person, and they still lost. They're still, you know, they're still trying it, right? And someone had to send other people to do their dirty work is what I'm getting, okay? And they still find themselves left out in the cold and rejected. Okay, someone, this can also be like a narcissist collapse energy, like that could be playing out for some of these individuals. Like, here's the ego, okay? So I'm getting like ego death. Okay, dark night of the soul, wandering soul, like where is this all taking you energy? Like, time to clean up your act. Someone might be forced to clean up their act. I feel like they've been like running amok long enough, and now, you know, they're having to pay the price. Yeah, look, they're having to pay the price. They could be dealing with court. They could be dealing with mental anguish. They could be dealing with going to jail because they thought they were going to get money from trying to do something immoral or lacked integrity. Okay, something to control and manipulate someone else as it relates to their own feelings, thoughts, and projections. I'm getting like someone could be projecting onto somebody else, wanting to tie them up, wanting to bind them up, right? So, yeah, look. High Priestess, the Magician. Yeah, someone's ego got hurt because someone chose themselves and their spiritual path, okay? And they've been trying to retaliate and end someone's ability to have the clarity that they deserve and is their birthright. It's almost like, it reminds me, it's like the story of, that goes back of all times, like trying to suppress someone's abilities, okay? Trying to control and manipulate, like they're a slave or something, right? I feel like someone's been liberated and freed from whatever they wanted to bind you to, which was to them, right? So that you couldn't move on from them. But I feel like they find themselves binded by the situation that they created. Okay, you are free and clear. Continue to, operate the way you came here to, which is in between. Okay, letting things play out the way they're meant to play out. You know that energy, you know how energy works, right? As above, so below. And so if they're sending this kind of energy out, you're not a match to this energy. So they're going to attract this energy into their reality, and that's going to be their experience. And you're sitting back because you don't wish that on anybody. They wished it on themselves, and you're minding your damn business. And you're staying neutral to the situation because you know things will play out naturally. Okay? You understand this. All right? This is something that you've mastered here. All right? So, I feel like somebody's dealing with having to manage themselves, like get a hold of someone. Like someone has to get a hold of themselves, okay? Right? They may be just so in their ego. Do you see the infinity symbols on both of these cards? What goes around comes around, all right? The energy you put out will come back to you, okay? That's what's playing out here for this individual, this group, this individual and this group, okay, who thought it was wise. All right, this has been coming out a lot. Like you're not interested in hearing, hearing what has to be said here. Like you already have what you need to know. Like High Priestess and the Magician over here, the Strength, Three of Pentacles, and a Page of Cups. Yeah, someone's dealing with, or will be, yeah, there's some sort of authority or position of power here that someone's being held to a higher power, and they thought they were going to get away with this shit. I'm telling you right now, they could be dealing with like a judge, right? They may have consulted somebody and paid somebody, made some sort of like immature agreement without understanding how the universal law works, and now they're held account, okay, to what they created. They could be in like spiritual jail, or they could be spellbound, or they could be dealing with legal issues for coming after a high priest or high priestess. Yeah. That's what I'm getting, y'all. Is there anything else you want to say about this? Ace of Wands. There's a passionate new beginning happening here. Creative spark. Something amazing is coming from this, right? Something amazing is being created from this. It's like taking something from one perspective to another, right? It's like taking the water and changing it to wine. It's like alchemy. And then we have a King of Wands. So yeah, this is really cool. This is going to be like something really powerful, passionate, something that's aligned with purpose, that you're meant to bring balance to and harmonize here. And it could be, with someone that shares a similar interest as you, hobby, right? Let's see. Oof, we have the Devil energy showing up. Yeah, they may need I'm getting like someone might need your assistance with something here. Huh. And then we have, yeah, there's the Eight of Swords and the High Priestess, the World card, and the Nine of Pentacles. All right, let's see what we got here. My devil has naked people, so I'm just going to cover it up. Well, no, it's the devil. Let's see, put this here. Okay, this here and this here. Wow, yeah, there's a massive like cycle ending with this. Interesting. Yeah, there's like this there's this co-creation energy here. Okay, someone's coming in and they're bringing this. Like they could be they could be the one that is like connecting the communication. There's action here. I'm getting like this is of like being of service, divine intervention, like enlightenment here. I feel like there's a similar purpose here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm getting this King of Wands. Part of their mission is also to bring balance and harmony and peace. So that could be something that the two of you might do together, okay? Like free people from the illusion of fear, right? In order to bring clarity and love to a situation, okay? Like you might be the bridge between worlds, okay? Freeing people from fear and confusion. You might be able to tap into that energy with your creative abilities, all right? And this is something that you've been gifted and blessed with, and you have numerous ways in which to create this, okay? And then I have this World card, so it's like a sense of accomplishment. It's like you opening a portal to this information is going to make big changes, okay? But it's like you blessing others with your blessing energy. So this could be like writing a book. This could be a podcast. This could be, you know, helping people to see where they need healing or where they have karmic contracts or lessons that they need help learning so that they can free themselves from the guilt and the shame of what's transpired in their lives. Like, I feel like there's a bit of like liberating others, right? Showing them the way, right? There's evidence that you've done this yourself in some way. And it's like helping people to get all those wands in alignment. Instead of fighting with one another, fight for one another instead, right? It's like standing up for the right causes, the just causes, okay? That's what this is about, all right? It's like putting your energy towards things that are meaningful and just causes for the greater good of humanity, right? Many of us are here for that reason. People are starting to wake up to this. You're part of the team here on Earth, helping to show others the way. There's that bridge, that rainbow bridge that I was picking up on. Yeah, I feel like you're able to show the way, tell the way, you know, guide. There's some sort of guidance energy here as well. Definitely clarity here. Very cool. I love it. I know I didn't fill out all the cards, but here, let's get this last row. Yeah, like you've turned your back on the shady shysters of the past. You let them be in their own energy. They can say and do whatever they want. You know it's going to bounce off of you and stick to them because they're glue, okay? They want to spoil your opportunity, okay? But they got nothing on you. They have nothing to bring to the table after all is said and done, okay? Yeah, they're ashamed. Like, look at, this is what I was talking about, right? They're going to be bound to their own shame, right? That's something that they have to work through on their own. You can't help them with that. Yeah. The justice is that they're going to watch you continue to help others with your blessing. while being blessed. Okay, that's the justice here, is that like as you continue to contribute in the way you choose, no judgment, right? This is you mastering a skill and being able to bless others with the skill. You could be an amazing chef. You could be someone who's in the legal system. You could be someone who's fighting for just causes and doing whatever it takes that the divine guides you to do. I feel like everybody knows what was being done in the, I'm getting like what you've been up to is visible and seen, right? Like if people wanted to know what you've been working on, there's evidence, right? I feel like whatever someone else was doing behind the scenes in the dark will also be evidenced, but it'll be evidenced in a court of law. Okay? So that's what's playing out here. Karmic justice is playing out. Okay? So yeah, I feel like the scales of justice are playing out. Okay? And we're seeing this on a large scale, so we will leave it at that. I have some amazing, I have these 2 books that I want to recommend that you guys read if you haven't already. And let me see. Okay. This is really good. Lightworker relationships. Okay. It says creating lasting and healthy bonds as an empath. The author is Savannah Arienta, and she is also the author of Lightworker. Okay. So it says, can you give too much love? Lightworkers are sensitive and highly empathic souls who have an innate need to help and heal others. These peaceful supporters of humanity are here to make positive changes and create personal, balanced, and loving human connections. But many light workers become so caught up in their divine mission to heal that they sometimes overlook the importance of receiving love. Do you find yourself always loving generously and rarely feeling valued? Do you feel yourself always responding to the need of others? Is there an inner calling to heal? Many light workers find themselves in situations that create an endless cycle of sorrow in their own relationships. Eventually, these beautiful souls close off their channel to receive love altogether. So this is going to help you understand like what's healthy, what's not healthy, what's your energy, what's not your energy, how to disconnect and detach, how to know when to batten down your hatches, how to know who's, showing signs of codependency or maybe commitment phobic, or maybe there's a pattern of narcissism in your family. Also talks about the ambassadors from heaven, and just a really great book. Okay. It really kind of like lays out relationships and the karmic relationships that we have, and the fact that like they're how we learn through relationships. They're like assignments. This is a more like a bit advanced here, but if you're looking to kind of expand your wisdom about your higher self and the connection, as well as your connection to Hathor, if that rings a bell for you. But this is called the Beyond the Flower of Life. It's advanced Merkaba teaching, sacred geometry, and opening the heart. And this book is by Maureen J. St. Germain, and she's also the author of Waking Up in 5D and Opening the Akashic Records. So this is also a great book. So those will be my 2 recommendations. Let me know if you want more. I have plenty to share. I'll see you guys in the next reading, and take care.